the lingo. Okay. So basically, they can use a lot of different phrases that mean many, many different things and can be very misleading. And there's one. Oh, okay. Based on the ingredient, they can word things quite a few different ways. So you can see your fat-free means that product is going to have less than a half a gram of fat. Low fat, 3 grams or less. Reduced fat, 25% less fat. And this all can get very confusing when you're trying to read labels and, well, okay, it's low in fat, well, what does that mean? Okay? Cholesterol-free, less than 2 milligrams of cholesterol, and then your reduced cholesterol, 25% less. When it says reduced, it usually means 25% less of whatever they're saying, like the fat or the sugar in the product. That's pretty across the board, okay? The sodium, and also, if you notice on the fat-free, there's still fat in it. But with that much, technically you don't have to count it. What if you eat 2 servings of something? It's gonna add up. So it's tricky, the way they try to word these things, okay? With sodium, what the heck? I erased all my slides? Oh no. Regarding sodium? This is great. Okay, so sodium-free, less than 5 milligrams. So there's still sodium in it, and if you eat more than 1 portion, it's going to add up. Very low sodium, 35 milligrams of sodium or less. Reduced sodium, 25% less. And light usually means 50% less. Okay? The calories, calorie-free, less than 5 calories. So it is a minimal amount that typically would not add up horribly, but again, more portions equal more calories. Low calorie, 40 calories or less, and then light or light, depending how you spell it, 1/3 fewer calories or 50% less. So that's pretty standard too. If it's light, about 50% less calories based on their rules. The sugar-free is a half a gram of sugar or less, but have you ever looked at a sugar-free Jell-O container? Like Jell-O pudding? It says sugar-free. There's no sugar in it, but there's 6 carbs, total carbs. So they can say that because they're not adding any sugar to it. So miscellaneous carbs will be in there in some foods. So it's tricky. That's tricky too. So reduced sugar, 25% less sugar. There is that kind of along the lines with what I was saying with the Jell-O pudding. If it says no sugar added, do you guys know what that means? There's sugar in it, or it could just be starch, carbs, period. We just didn't jack it up with anymore, is what they're really saying. To a lot of people, that means there's no sugar in the food. That's the kind of stuff that drives me nuts. And let's see, one of my other ones, like sugar-free Cool Whip has 3 carbs. Regular Cool Whip has like 1. But they didn't put any sugar in it, so they can say it's sugar-free. Because that starch is not coming from sugar. The regular has less carbs and it's much better. So let's face it, guys.
So, Aaron, make me understand. Okay, when you total carbs here, so you're saying in addition to the 5 grams of sugar there, could there be additional sugars in the carb when it's?
It'll be other starch.
Okay.
Here, let me go back. Okay. One that looks better. Okay, that one kind of sort of looks better. All right, so you have 8 total carbohydrates, all right? One of the 8 is coming from a gram of fiber. One of it is coming from a gram of sugar that's been added. Well, 2 and 8, that doesn't add up, but it's not directly sugar or fiber, so they have to single those 2 out, sugar, fiber, and sugar alcohols. But if it's just starch, miscellaneous starch that's in the food, it's still in there. So you would just take, like for instance, this one, if we're talking the net, you would take 8 minus 1. So you'd end up having to count 7 carbs, and there are no sugar alcohols listed on the label. Some patients, I had a lady a few weeks ago, she got confused with the net carbs and started subtracting sugar out of the product label. Well, if you get it, what is it, the Swedish fish, like those more taffy type candies or the gummies, they're fat-free. So people see that and they think, fat-free, awesome. Well, it's got 30 grams of sugar in it, okay? So that can be misleading as well, but, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Oh, don't subtract sugar out thinking they're sugar alcohols, because if you don't see it on the label, there's no sugar alcohols in the product, okay? Well, now that the rest of my... Skipped over the other 5 sections that I put in the PowerPoint slides. It's awesome. Okay, do you guys have questions? Is it clicking?
It is, yeah.
It's hard. If you've never done the net carbs, it is hard to wrap your head around it. So I just want to show you guys this little ditty here for a minute. Rubber salmon. And it actually weighs an ounce, is what it's supposed to look like, an ounce of salmon, and it weighed 29 grams and 28 an ounce. I thought that was pretty impressive. Okay. So, granted, your normal food scale, it's gonna, usually you do have a choice if you want grams or ounces. Since we go 60 grams, I usually recommend to just go grams, okay? So with this product, we can get another food, we'll test it.
Is this considered before cooking?
It is cooked. Mhm. And you typically want to weigh your meat once it's cooked.
Really?
But are you HCG?
Yes.
After you want to, with the HCG, it's contrary to anything else. You do it before and then you cook it.
Even though it shrinks considerably?
What, I'm sorry?
Even though it shrinks considerably?
That's the way that program is
I
set
don't know.
up. Yeah.
Sometimes, I know it calls it 3.5, but sometimes I'll go 4. And it's been considerably, I've been okay.
Yeah, and the calories are can fluctuate on the HCG, so I mean, you just want to stay in the ballpark of 500. Okay, so we're going to measure the carrots first. So what you do with this? What's
What's that?
this is BFS.
I'm hungry.
I don't know if you did that. Okay, so baby carrots, the number is 1085, and it's basically the USDA information, so it's all accurate. So this would equal 134 grams weight-wise, but then it basically makes you a food label that shows you that amount of weight of baby carrots raw equals what this nutrition label says. So it even takes all the math work out of, because if you measure it in ounces, well, there's 7 grams and 1 ounce of protein. Well, this is 1 ounce of beef, and this is 1 ounce of salmon. They don't look the same, do they? Your beef is denser, so it's going to add up without looking like it does, if that makes sense. Salmon, I think it's a fairly dense meat, so can you imagine putting a tilapia in the mix? That would probably look almost double the size of this one. So that's why it is more important to measure the meats on a scale, because it looks so different. Because I hate it when a lot of the handouts say, your thumb is an ounce of meat. Well, granted, we're all women, but I had a guy in my nutrition class the other day, I swear his thumb was the size of my head. So, everyone's thumb's going to be a little different. So that's the one thing it irks me on that. So, and these are all very accurate to how they're supposed to add up. These are made to weigh like our pound of fat and pound of muscle. I don't think we can make a nutrition label out of this bad boy. But we actually put these on the scale. You are just in heaven right now, aren't you? Or really grossed out.
Craziest stuff I've ever seen.
I want to get some.
it on a plate and be like, I made a beautiful dinner.
This is basically, no, I don't even know that.
I don't think that they make nutrition information for pure fat.
No, they don't. Not for bodily fat, no. But it's so cool that they make these things. This is what it looks like. This is a pound of fat, and this is a pound of muscle.
Oh.
So, which one takes up less room? Muscle, as I cover up half muscle. So when you start exercising and building muscle and losing weight, or you might not lose as much as you think you should in your head, but you're going to be condensing as far as inches, because you're building that muscle, it's going to condense you, and this goes away, so it kind of counteracts the building of this, the losing of this, but eventually will kick in and you're going to increase your weight loss. So, yay, exercise. Sorry, way off track there. But yeah, you can buy it. You don't have to buy it super fancy. I just bought that because it was such a good deal. But I think Rebecca got these at Walmart.
I've seen that. Now, that doesn't tell you all this stuff.
No.
I just have one that you just put stuff in it.
The dial
thing.
Yeah, that's what I have, and it wiggles, and
Yeah,
you can manipulate it too.
exactly. Yeah, we tend to go for the flare, us women. But I had like a weight scale, like what you would weigh yourself on, and I was very happy with that number, by the way. And it was a little dial. And then my dad, actually asked for it for Christmas, just so you know. My dad got me a scale, and I took it home and put the battery in, and I got on it, and I was like, that thing is lying? Because you can manipulate those old scales, you know, to make yourself feel a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, the digital is the most accurate. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if this one measures, you can do kilograms. Grams, ounces, pounds, and kilograms. So, it has, you usually have an array of things you can, how you want it measured. So, it's pretty cool. I like mine better than
It's not too bad, actually. I mean, like cost-wise.
No. And you might, I found it, there's a website that my husband found out about it. Well, he loves it. It's called Woot.com, and it has like a lot of electronics and stuff. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I kind of Amazon it real quick to see how it reviewed, and it had great reviews and was retailing. I saw it on Walmart's website today for $40 with free site to store shipping or something, and then like 50-ish on Amazon. But I didn't go through all the choices because you can find, you know, different deals on there. But I like it. It's easy. I haven't touched it until today. I played with it when I got back here, and it was really easy. So, yay. Questions, girls? Did you learn something? Very good. And my camera girl. Thank you to my camera girl.
I think we're still in.
Yes.